Last night we passed, in the history of the country, the largest tax cuts and reform. And, you know, when we first went into this deal, I said, it's tax reform, because for years, not since Ronald Reagan has anything even come close. They haven't passed them. They couldn't pass them. They couldn't get the votes. And for years, I said, I wonder why they use the word reform, because nobody knows what reform means. Reform could mean your taxes are going up. And I said to my guys, I called everybody in. We had a meeting, senators, Congress, everybody. I said, we have to use the word tax cuts. Now, if you want to throw reform, you could say tax cuts and reform. But you have to use the word cut, because people don't know what reform means. Reform could mean your taxes are going up. In fact, a lot of people thought that. So for years, 30 years, 31 years, they've been using the word reform. So we use the word tax cuts. And last night, out of 52 Republican senators, 51 voted, and we ended up doing it, and we didn't need our great vice president to break the tie, Mike. We didn't need Mike. We didn't need anything. We voted. The Democrats left before the vote was even, somebody said started. Somebody said before it was over. I don't even care. But we got no Democrat help, and I think that's going to cost them very big in the election, because basically they voted against tax cuts. And I don't think politically it's good to vote against tax cuts. But what we're doing is, if you look at it, we're going to grow the country. We're going to grow jobs. We're going to be growing everything. We have companies now that are pouring back into our country, even before this. We've just set records in so many different ways. We've set records with every conceivable, you know, if you look at it, consumer confidence at a 17-year high, and I think it's an all-time high, consumer confidence. Business confidence, all-time high. Everything is like at an all-time high, including the big one. It's called the stock market, at an all-time high. So I was backstage taking pictures with people far greater than my business people. I love my business people, but they're called law enforcement people, okay? Do we concede business people? All my business friends. And one great gentleman came up and he said, sir, I want to thank you. I said, what did I do for you? He said, my 401k is up 40%. And I never thought of it. You know, I tell you, he gave me one of the great campaign lines. It's called, how's your 401k doing? Because I can say this, if the Dems won the election, in my opinion, and I feel strongly about this, the numbers right now, we hit record highs every day. I think we had 66 times now where we've hit a record high since the election. 66 times. 66.